Greg, this is my 1954. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
1954 Ford. Bought in 1988. Belonged to Dr. Henry Hall,
Yep.
who was killed in his own driveway. And I bought it from his widow through Kurt Reesner. And my daughter at the time was with me, and we videotaped it at the purchase, at the time of purchase. And she was 4 years old. She's now 31 and an attorney. And we're just finishing up the restoration on it now. It's got 39,000 original miles. It was a basket case when we got it, though. Quarter panels didn't exist. Had to have it trailered home, and my wife was ready to shoot me. She said, "What are you going to do with that piece of junk?" And that piece of junk 25 years later has been a lot of fun. Elena was with me when I received the award. She's helped me work on it over the years, and it's been a wonderful bonding between my daughter and myself. And of course, the car is hers when it's all said and done. But it's got, it's the first year of the overhead valve, 1954, first year of ball joint suspension. They had originally had kingpins. It has power windows, power seat, and power steering.
Wow.
That is a LeBaron Bonney interior that we put on it, which is kind of like, if I can use the word Cadillac, it's the Cadillac of interiors. And did most of the work myself, and that's been the fun of it. In the wintertime, I spend about 3 hours a night working on the car, getting it ready for this buffalo meat, changing out every screw, polishing, getting underneath it, making sure nothing is wrong. When you first start to look at a car like this in the beginning, you say, "Oh, that looks pretty nice." When you get it to this level, you start critiquing it honestly yourself and saying what's wrong, and you just look at what's wrong with the car. And it's not a very positive statement to make, but it's the way that you get it to where you want it to be. And so you look for those little tiny things. And from here, we're going to take it to hopefully Williamsport in 2 years and seek a Grand National. Got a lot of work ahead of me to get that, but that's the goal.
Like what? What do you? I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, why Marvel? Give me a sense.
Well, if you can walk with me.
Sure.
This is.
Gee, Andy, at my advanced age, maybe I'll try.
This is critique that I want to make. Okay, you take a look right here. You see, look real carefully. You'll see a little mark right there.
Oh yeah.
There's that little tiny mark.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not good enough. So we're going to take these and replace them. They'll sand it down and they'll be repainted and reshot, and that's one less point that anybody's ever going to take away from the car, because it's all about points. 400 points is a perfect car. This car is probably, I would say, at around 385.
Do you have somebody coming who's sort of a judge, sort of help you eyeball this, or do you know enough to know?
I've gotten to the point where I know enough, and it's too hard to hear it.
Yeah.
I said our group of guys just does exactly what I was saying. I was telling Scott. They'll look at my car and they'll say, "You got a scratch there." They'll look at all the good things. They look at the bad things, but that's the way we become.
Yeah.
And it's a little sad in some respects, but we take this winter, for instance, every one of these wires came off. New ends put on, resoldered, so that every connection is exactly as it was from the factory, the day it came out of the factory. That's the goal.
Do you have a manual that sort of tells you what it really is supposed to be?
Yes, we have factory manuals that we'll follow, and you just want to make sure everything's right. And of course, there's suppliers that help you out. This braided wire right here, this is a duplicate wire that would have been on that car in 1954. And there's a company called Y&Z out of California that will remanufacture that stuff for you.
Wow.
But, you know, you said what else is wrong? Well, the hood, or the windshield, this is the original windshield from 1964. And I hate to take off that sticker, because it just is nice. But if you take a look, there's a little tiny stone chip on it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, that's a point. And so we're going to have to get rid of that, as much as I hate to. And those are the things you have to do.
We're talking replacing this?
Yes, I'll have to replace that windshield, as much as I don't want to. We could, you know, you could be willing, but remember, when we're going for a Grand National, we're going for 400 points is perfection.
Yeah.
if somebody brings a car that's at 400 points, I got to be within 5 points of that car. So I've got to be at 395 points, which means 5 points is all I've got to mess with.
Yeah.
So we've got to just try to see what we can do to make it right.
This is terrific.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Where do you do this? Where, at your house?
I do it at the house, yeah.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of having it in an unheated garage for 2 years. And it's amazing, even though it's a nice dry cement floor, it degrades. So now I keep it in my garage. I keep the temperature up to 45 or 50, and then every night I spend about 3 hours on it. But we're really lucky because in Williamsport, Pennsylvania is the Grand National Award coming up. It'll be in 2016, and it's right in our backyard for all intents and purposes. So I'd be silly. It's my sense of they're telling me something, go for it. Even if I don't get it, Greg, it's not that critical.
Well, tell me, the judging process, does a guy come by with a clipboard and is he eyeballing the thing?
They've got 5 or 6 of them
that
will come through this thing, and one will be assigned to the under chassis, usually the rookie. Somebody will be doing the engine, somebody will be doing the interior, and they're looking for imperfections. And I was speaking to a judge at the Buffalo meet, and he said most of the AACA Grand National Awards are lost under the car on the undercarriage.
No kidding.
So we want to have, they can only go on one knee, but you still want to have it when they get on that one knee, that car's got to look just like it came out the factory that day. And you can't have anything that's non-stock on it.
Oh, sorry?
Oh, this car never had dual exhaust. You'll find a lot of cars that have dual exhaust that guys have added on. That's fine for muscle cars and cars that are just what they want to do. But in this division, it's all about originality. And that's not to take away from somebody that doesn't have a car that's original, because it's what they want. But we can't have dual exhaust. We can't have floor mats that were bought at AutoZone. Those got to come out. You can't even have on the back of the car, I've got this beautiful license plate bracket that says Chattacoin Motors. They were over on Spring Street, if you recall. It's gorgeous. But it's incorrect for that car because it would have been added on after it came from the factory, so that's not acceptable.
You drive it? Do you drive the car?
I do. I've only got 39,000 miles on it, but I've only put probably, I don't know, 12 to 1,500 miles on it since I bought it.
Right.
The longest ride I took was to Rochester and back. And this is my piece de resistance. This is called the Deluxe Hood Ornament. There are only about 25 of these known to exist.
My gosh.
It's a weapon.
Yeah.
And many judges have looked at the car and said, what is that? That's not right. And so I have a book in the back of my car that shows it as an option.
Wow.
And I paid $900 for that in Hershey, and I felt it was a bargain at that point.
Yeah.
But to have that, that's just kind of cool.
That's cool.
So from here we go to...
you were in Buffalo a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, it's about a month ago. Yeah.
And you took...
I took my senior, it's called.
Okay.
First, there's a second junior, and then there's a first junior. Once you achieve first junior status, then you go for what's called a senior. Seniors is pretty much as high as most people go. Then there is a Grand National, which is just like, oh, what the heck if we can try it. But that's really, really about perfection. But to get a senior, you've got to be in the 385 out of 400 point range. Wow. So that's where we're at right now.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. I appreciate it. It's fun.